Good afternoon to you. We will continue with the Constitution. Today, the last part of parliamentary committees. In the last few classes, we have seen 5 out of 6 categories of parliamentary committees. Totally 6 categories, of which we have seen already 5 categories. What are those 5 categories? Finance Committee, which is very important, consisting of Public Accounts Committee, Estimate Committee, and Committee on Public Undertakings. Then departmentally related parliamentary standing committees, very important, 24 committees. Committees to inquire, committee to scrutinize and control, committees relating to day-to-day business of the house. All these 5 categories we have already seen. And now we will take up the last category of the committee, that is housekeeping or service committee. Housekeeping or service committees, consisting of House Committee, General Purpose Committee, Library Committee, Joint Committee on Salaries and Allowances of the members. So there are 4 committees under this category: House Committee, General Purpose Committee, Library Committee, and Joint Committee on Salaries and Allowances of the members. First, let us come to House Committee. This House Committee was first constituted in Lok Sabha on 22nd February 1932. 22nd February in 1932 with 10 members, but subsequently it was raised to not more than 12. Not more than 12. The members are nominated by the Speaker, and so also the chairman of the committee also nominated by Speaker among its members. The quorum is 5. The quorum is 5. The functions include to deal with the question of accommodation allotment for the members, and also to exercise supervision over the provision of accommodation, medical aid, food, etc. In Rajya Sabha, this committee was set up in 1952. When Rajya Sabha it was set up? 1952. With the same functions as that of Lok Sabha. The committee had 10 members. The committee has 10 members nominated by Chairman Rajya Sabha. Nominated by Chairman Rajya Sabha, and the chairman is nominated by Chairman Rajya Sabha among its members. The committee holds office till the new committee is reconstituted. Casual vacancies are filled by the chairman by nomination. The quorum is 3. Remember, the quorum is 3. The chairman normally cannot vote except where there is a tie, that is equality of vote. In case of equality of vote, he can vote, he can exercise the casting vote, what is known as casting vote. Now, secondly, we are coming to the Library Committee. Library Committee. You know, the Parliament Library was formed as early as in 1921. It was founded in 1921. Library Committee was constituted in Lok Sabha on 21st November 1950. Lok Sabha Parliament, this Library Committee was constituted on 21st November 1950. This Library Committee was consisting of Deputy Speaker and 5 other members from Lok Sabha nominated by the Speaker, 3 members nominated from Rajya Sabha by the Chairman Rajya Sabha. Deputy Speaker is the ex officio chairman of the committee. Casual vacancies are filled by the Speaker in respect of Lok Sabha vacancies. If there is any vacancy in the Rajya Sabha members, then those vacancies will be filled by the Chairman Rajya Sabha in respect of Rajya Sabha vacancies. The functions of the committee include advice to the members on library matters, and also to consider the implementation of the library improvement and to assist the members to utilize the library to the extent of their satisfaction. Now we are coming to the another one, that is Joint Committee on Salary and Allowances. Joint Committee on Salary and Allowances of the Members of Parliament. Now, this committee was first constituted on 6th September 1954. When it was constituted? 6th September 1954. To frame the rules under the Salaries and Allowances of Members of Parliament Act 1954. So, remember, all the committee which we have seen is creation of Lok Sabha procedure. But this committee was constituted as per the law, in accordance with the provisions of the law. What is that law? Salary and Allowances of Members of Parliament Act 1954. This act provided for setting up of a joint committee on salaries and allowances of members of Parliament. Accordingly, on the basis of the provisions of this act, the committee was constituted on 6th September 1954. The committee consists of 10 members from Lok Sabha, nominated by Speaker Lok Sabha, and 5 members of Rajya Sabha, nominated by Chairman Rajya Sabha. This committee is reconstituted from time to time, but the members hold their office only for 1 year from the date of nomination. From the date of nomination, they hold their office for 1 year. The person nominated against the casual vacancies hold office for 1 year and not for the unexpired portion of the term of the outgoing member. Very important point. Remember, so far we have seen the casual vacancies, they will remain in office only for the remainder of the term of the member against whom he was elected or selected or nominated. Whereas in this case, he will continue to be the member for 1 year, irrespective of the balance period of the term of the vacancy against whom he is appointed. Remember, so this is not unexpired portion, but 1 year invariably, and not for unexpired portion of the term of the outgoing member. Very important point. Kindly remember, this is for the joint committee on salaries and allowances of the members of Parliament constituted in accordance with the provisions of the members and salary and allowances of the Members of Parliament Act 1954. Very, very important point. Joint committee elects its chairman from among its members. The joint committee elects its chairman among its members. Remember, very peculiar. Chairman is elected from among the members, whereas the members are nominated by the speaker and the chairman respectively. For Lok Sabha members, Lok Sabha speaker appoints. For Rajya Sabha vacancies, Rajya Sabha chairman appoints. The rules made by the committee do not take effect until these are approved by the presiding officers of the House and published in Gazette. The rules made by the committee will not take effect until these are approved by the presiding officers of both the houses of Parliament and published in Gazette. Secondly, finally, let us see the General Purpose Committee. General Purpose Committee is a very unwieldy committee which is constituted to consider and advise on such matters concerning the affairs of Lok Sabha. The committee consists of Speaker, Deputy Speaker, members of panel of chairman, chairman of all standing parliamentary committee and leaders of recognized political parties and groups in Lok Sabha, and such other members as may be nominated by the speaker. The speaker is the ex officio chairman of the committee. If the speaker is not present, deputy speaker will take the chair. If Deputy Speaker also is not there, then the senior member present in the meeting will take the chair. Will take the chair. Very important. So next, the General Purpose Committee was constituted in Rajya Sabha. Next, we are coming to Rajya Sabha for the first time on 22nd May 1957. When it was constituted in Rajya Sabha, 22nd May 1957. It has 16 members. It has 16 members. The committee was continuously constituted since 1957, except on few occasions when it was not constituted. From 7th August 1995 onwards, the committee has 21 members. Remember, what point you should remember is from 7th August 1995, the composition is 21 members. The functions of the committee include tendering advice on such matters concerning the affairs of the House to the chairman. So, this is the chairman committee, that is the Rajya Sabha committee and Lok Sabha committee we have already seen. So, the General Purpose Committee, both Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, we have seen. Now, we are coming to another last one, that is Consultative Committee. Consultative Committee of Members of Parliament. I remember to told you, Consultative Committee was constituted to enable the members to understand the working of the departments. When we got freedom, most of the members are new. They do not know about the government functionaries. So we have constituted the Consultative Committee so that members acquire certain amount of experience and certain understanding about the various functions of the departments and ministries. That is the purpose of Consultative Committees of the members of Parliament attached to various ministries. So each ministry has a consultative committee. So normally, except one or two, almost all committees has consultative committee. The committees have been functioning since 1969. Remember, since when it is functioning? 1969. What is the purpose of the committee? The purpose of the committee is to have informal consultation between the government and the members of Parliament and the policies and programs of the government and to the extent of their implementation. What is the maximum membership? Maximum membership is 40 and minimum is 10. The members of Parliament representation may vary from 4 to 6 depending upon the consultative members. 4 to 6. The members of Parliament are nominated by Ministry of Parliamentary Affairs. It is not compulsory. If the member does not want to be the member of the Consultative Committee, he is free to exempt himself. There is no compulsion on the part of the government to ask them to attend the meeting. The committees are chaired by ministers of the respective ministries to which the Consultative Committee is attached. The meetings are held 2 times a year normally, that is during the session 1 and intersession 1. So totally normally 6 meetings will be held. Normally 6 meetings during the session number 1. So 3 sessions are there. So during the session and the intersession between one session to another session, intersession it will be there. So normally 5 to 6 meetings will be held. The members and the government are not expected to mention anything about the informal discussion on the floor of the House. It is a gentlemanly agreement between the government and the Consultative Committee members that the members will not mention, neither the government will mention anything what transpired in the meeting of the Consultative Committee meeting. A unanimous recommendation made by the Consultative Committee carries very good persuasive value, and the government maybe in all probability they will accept the recommendation. Remember, most important another point is there is no quorum required for Consultative Committee. So this is the Consultative Committee, which is in almost out of 48 departments, at least 42-43 departments are having. So only except one or two, the rest of the ministries are having this consultative committee meeting. With this, we will end the parliamentary committees. Now we have seen all the parliamentary committees. I think it comes around 20 committees, and finance committee is very important. That part, you have to bifurcate it. What are the elected committees? I have already told you what are the elected committees. Number two, in which committees minister cannot be the member, you should remember, and in which committees are exclusively for Lok Sabha, that is the estimate committee, and which committee has highest number of members, standing committee 31 members. So all these things, I mean, pick out it's only split now. You pick out important points, and these are all the points where you should remember exclusively. That is joint committees, where both the combined committee, joint committees and combined where the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha members are associated, and the committees which are under the control of the chairman Lok Sabha, chairman Rajya Sabha, and speaker Lok Sabha. All these things you should understand. With this, we will end it. In the next class, we will start state legislature. We have seen up to governor and the council of ministers under the state government. Now we will see state legislatures. Very important. Governor plus what is known as legislative assembly and legislative council, wherever it is. Wherever it is. Because we do not, all states do not have the legislative council. I think only 6 states are having, and that is legislative council, and wherever it is important. It is like Rajya Sabha. You cannot compare with Rajya Sabha because Rajya Sabha is mandatory, whereas having a council in state legislature is not mandatory. It is up to the state government to have a council or not. So we will end the class now. We will continue in the next class. Thank you very much. Thank you.